It's the final appearance of the HyVee Classic and an Eastern Iowa showdown as the UNI Panthers take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Today we talk with Coach Ben Jacobson as the Panthers face their biggest challenge left on their non-conference schedule. We look at a senior who grew up in the heart of Hawkeye country and what he's done for UNI in his 5 years. We tell you why Max Thomsen makes UNI wrestling must-see action. And it's more honors for the UNI volleyball team.